You work your ass off at the gym. Is your protein giving you the quality muscle growth that it should be? Or is the protein you're consuming subpar? I'll show you the protein combination that I use to maximize muscle growth, activate protein synthesis, and flip on that anabolic switch. You'll learn some simple tweaks on how you do your protein intake can make a substantial difference. Now, let's head on over to the Kolasko kitchen and I'll show you my secrets. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm excited to show you how I think about protein intake and how I calibrate my protein intake to get it just right. I'm going to show you my 2 top protein combos that have gotten results for me. The way I do protein, along with my optimal training and supplementation, allowed me to put on almost 10 pounds of muscle in these last 6 months. And that's at age 57. What some experts say about not being able to put on muscle after age 50 is absolutely untrue. I'm living proof that it can be done, and with no performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, TRT, or otherwise. Let's start with the foundation of protein in your diet, and that's that you must have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And when you're over 50 like me, that's crucial because we do not synthesize protein as well as we did when we were younger. Lean meat and whey protein are the 2 best muscle building proteins. That is for 2 key reasons. 1 is because they have the most essential amino acids, and 2, the bioavailability. That's the digestibility of it, 92 to 96%. And with the protein powder, that's already broken down, so that helps with the digestibility even better. So these versus, say, a plant protein, which is about 80% bioavailable, I'm not going to get into the debate about plant versus meat. No, I just suffice to focus on what is going to get the best results, and that's these 2 right here. When it comes to meat, make sure it is lean because we do want to avoid saturated fat. I do have chicken and I do have fish, no problem with that. But when it comes to my main daily source of protein, it is definitely going to be the ground beef. Why ground beef? Because of the generous amount of collagen that's in it. Guess what they use for the cuts of meat in this ground beef? Well, it's often the chuck, the round, the shank, the brisket. Those are the toughest parts of the animal. Everybody wants the ribeye and the tenderloin, but guess what? This is what's supporting that animal, holds the animal up. It's like a scaffolding, connective tissue going through that part of the meat of the animal, and that's making it strong and strengthening it. And in turn, when we digest it, it's going to do the same thing for us. Collagen is a signaling molecule. It sets up the proper protein formulation. It upregulates and creates the stimulus because it's a bioactive peptide that starts a cascade of protein synthesis. Studies show that collagen increases bone density and strengthens your tendons and ligaments. I just had a DEXA done a couple weeks ago, and I'm in the top 2% for my age bracket. So it's working. And collagen also produces leptin, which is not prevalent in other protein sources. A study was done on older adults, and they found that their atrophy of muscles opened up the signaling of leptin, asking for more leptin to come in so that it could create more protein synthesis. So that inflection of leptin was great because it helped these older adults from atrophying, and it kept their muscles preserved. Like previously mentioned, when you're older, muscle recovery is harder because we're not synthesizing protein as well as we used to, and our muscles need it more than ever. Collagen will also help with the skin, and as you get older, of course, you're getting wrinkles and you're showing fine lines. It's going to help with that too. It's important to note and to point out that collagen on its own is not a very effective protein. That's why with the ground beef, you've got the essential amino acids in the meat, and then that connective tissue, that collagen, is working together in setting off the protein synthesis. So if I was going to have collagen powder, I'd want to have it with EAAs, essential amino acids, so I get that full, complete matrix of essential amino acids to set off the bioactive peptide that's in collagen and get them all working together. Just a little later in the video, I'm going to show you how that powdered collagen is going to mix with the EAAs and get you a kick-ass protein formula. Like I mentioned, ground beef has all the essential amino acids in it, including the very important leucine. Leucine is the activator of mTOR, which is the pathway signaling for muscle protein synthesis. You need to activate mTOR to flip on that anabolic switch. Yeah, so leucine's also important that it be really high. Once again, with that bioavailability, it's good that that be there and that it's receptive and that's drawing it in so that it can have the most anabolic effect possible and get that protein synthesis going and kicked off. All right, our ground beef is cooking up great, so I'm going to talk about whey protein a little more now. Now, whey protein has a high protein oxidation, so that means it has a bit of a thermal effect. It kind of heats things up with digestion so that it's a better simulation of it. So that'll help with fat burning as well. So that's another nice bonus with your whey protein. So to get the best of both worlds, you could actually have maybe 30-40 grams of your ground beef and then have about 20-30 grams of your whey protein. You can have that as a dessert. Hey, it's got chocolate in it. Why not? That leads me to my next kick-ass formula for protein that I'm going to share with you. And that is, I'm going to have collagen, okay? I'm going to put that in. But like I said, that's a little weak on its own, right? So we can't have that by itself. So I'm going to take some EAAs and we are going to put those in there. And we've got our essential amino acids, but the collagen's in there, so that bioactive peptide is going to be ready to kickstart the leucine and all these other amino acids we've got in there. Plus, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some creatine in there. Now, you can have creatine any time of day, but I'm going to go ahead and add it in for convenience because it's here anyways. So I've got that drink there, so I'm going to have that post-workout. Now, I work out fasted, so I want to get that protein and that nutrients in me right away because my body's been waiting for it because I work out early morning. So we've got that. I want to have that first, and then we are going to have another 5 grams of that collagen. We're going to put that in there, and then we're going to put in the protein with the collagen. So what did I say? You got those mixing together to get the best of both worlds, to get that bioavailability that you need of those amino acids, and then the bioactive peptide of the collagen in there to kickstart everything and get that cascade going and get that overall protein synthesis going for you and having that muscle growth that you so deserve, that you worked your ass off in the gym to get. Now, with these, one after another, after your workout, you're gonna get that and put those muscles in place. So yeah, I wouldn't want to mix my EAs with my protein powder because that would frankly taste awful. But together, I'm getting all those signaling molecules talking, and I'm getting the bioactive peptide of the collagen kicking in. All that synthesis is going on, totally dialed in. Wahoo! Guess what's next? It's muscle growth. So all of this, a research participant study of me, 57.5. These are the results I've gotten. But hey, I've got research-backed studies to back up all of this. So if you ever want to say, hey, I was wondering how we got that information on that particular point he was making, well, put a comment down below and I will cite that research study that I was referring to that backed up what I was saying about that particular molecule or signaling process or protein synthesis. So continue to focus on your resistance training. Get the right amount of sets in per week, an RPE of 8 or 9, and aerobically get in the right zones throughout the week to maximize your VO2. Because with a proper protein intake and activation of protein synthesis, you will get those rewards of all the hard work that you do. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and to get the most out of your training and your health span in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, check out my other video. See this video here for me training my 72-year-old client to maximize his life performance, as well as this one here, me getting my very own DEXA scan, and I'm even going to show you the results.